Now we're going to talk about impact and actually what the club face is doing, what the path of the club is doing through impact. Because I think that there's a lot of misperceptions and ideas of what the golf club is actually doing through impact. So let's talk about that. Now, if you would go ahead and set up, we're going to use an iron as a reference because we're going to use this little ball flight analysis of this little magnet on the club face to kind of signify what the club face is doing. So let's talk about that first. Remember that when we talked about the backswing, one of the things that we want to feel is the face moving with the turn. Remember, the hub of the swing is in his chest or is in his sternum, but he's feeling it through his hands. He's not hitting it with his hands, he's feeling it through his hands. That's the connection to the club. So if you look at this metal rod, if you look at it when it gets to the halfway back point, the toe of the club would be up and this would be facing out. Again, because of his very strong left-hand grip, which is what we like, it's staying in the same position, but the toe's up. Again, if he flattens the left wrist too early, the face is shut, and so you can see that. So we want the toe square to the circle. So let's talk about the circle just for a second. The circle is the path or the plane of the swing. Notice I've got a hula hoop here, and instead of it being a perfect round circle, by the way, if you think of a swing in a perfect circle, it's not. Because if I put this in a 360-degree circle, the club would only travel about 1/8 of an inch toward the target. So we want to elongate the circle. We want the path bigger because we all miss it, but we want our misses to be better, especially with the long drive guys. Even though they hit it really far, they still have to hit a grid. So we want to make sure that he understands and feels. He sees or visualizes a path to the target, and he feels how the face and the club head's moving on that path. So we have to see it and we have to feel it. So we do a lot of training. We spend a lot of time on impact. That's the most important part of the golf swing is impact. So one of the things that I want Niall to do, maybe 5 minutes a day, is just practice seeing and feeling of what the club head's doing down here. Because often all the swing up here is a reaction to that. It's just like skipping a rock. You didn't think about all those wonderful, perfect positions, but you felt the cracking of the release of that flat rock skipping across that lake, and that's where the speed came at the end. But that visualization is critical. That feel is critical to that position. So let's go back to
Well, I'll interject one thing here. At home, if you have a mirror, you can actually get in the mirror just a little bit at night if you have some free time and visualize that in the mirror and see where those positions should be in the mirror. It's very easy to do, and I got to tell you, it's something so important that Buck and I work on. I do this every night for at least 15 to 30 minutes. My power secrets can instantly be yours. I promise your next round of golf, you will be crushing the ball 30 to 40 yards farther without any practice whatsoever. Read the information below to grab your risk-free 365-day trial of my power secrets and bonuses. You will have instant access to my power secrets in the next 5 minutes.